not so much based on what I see just walking by on the streets, but some of these people that live here, and and again, one of the things that's very similar to Milan is in New York, you have a lot of young people with a lot of money, and so you can be very young and wear Prada and Marni and whatever. But here, you have people that are really mixing it up more. A couple of designer pieces with Zara and vintage, and so there's, I think, a lot more creativity because they're not just buying style and they're not just buying fashion. They're really mixing it up a little bit more. And yesterday there were two young ladies that I shot, and they just, there was really nothing about their look that was necessarily fashionable, but the style was great, the color was great, the way they carry themselves, the kind of swagger that these young ladies had was, absolutely charming. And so really right now my opinion's based on these people that I know. And the guys, Spain really seems to be, it seems like most places either turn out to be kind of more of a men's city or a women's city. Paris is very much a women's city. New York, I think, is very much a women's city. But like Madrid and I think Barcelona also is, the guys that are into style are really good. And there was a guy that I was shooting yesterday who I've met at Pitti Uomo, and he's got this beard and he's got this, he looks like a very elegant bear, because he's got this full beard and this kind of wavy hair, and he's still very well tailored, but there's a real kind of rugged masculinity to him that you really don't see, and you definitely don't see it in London. You see it maybe a little bit in New York. In Italy it's always very refined. The guys are almost too refined sometimes. So I like, what I'm seeing in Spain, especially the menswear, this kind of ruggedness that, I think is very virile and something that's probably the number one thing that, so far in my mind, kind of separates Spain is this kind of masculine ruggedness in the tailoring.
¿Alguna otra pregunta?